The front door slammed shut, a gunshot in the quiet of our suburban home, and I stood frozen in the living room, clutching the note I'd found crumpled in her coat pocket. Meet me at the usual spot. Midnight. Don't tell him. The words, scrawled in unfamiliar handwriting, burned into my retinas. My wife Claire had just left for her week-long spa retreat with her sisters, her parting words still echoing. I need space to think, Mark. Space. The word felt like a blade now, slicing through 6 years of marriage. I sank onto the couch, the paper trembling in my hands, as the ticking of the grandfather clock filled the silence with a rhythm that mocked my racing pulse. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe it was a misunderstanding. Claire was vibrant, magnetic. People were drawn to her. She'd always had friends, colleagues, admirers. The note could be innocent, a work thing, a surprise she was planning. But the secrecy, the midnight meeting, it gnawed at me. I replayed her behavior over the past months. The late nights at the office, the phone turned face down, the way her laughter seemed forced when I asked about her day. Each memory was a pinprick, a warning I'd ignored because I loved her too much to question. The house felt suffocating, its familiar comforts, her lavender-scented candles, the framed photos of our honeymoon in Santorini, now taunting me with their false warmth. I stumbled to the kitchen, poured a whiskey, and let the burn distract me from the ache in my chest. My phone buzzed. A text from Claire. Arrived at the spa. Love you. The words felt hollow, a performance. I typed a reply. Love you too. Then deleted it. My fingers hovered over the screen, itching to confront her, but doubt stopped me. What if I was wrong? What if I destroyed us over nothing? Sleep eluded me that night. I lay in our bed, her side cold and untouched, imagining her laughing with her sisters, or worse, slipping away to meet someone else. The note lay on the nightstand, its creases worn from my obsessive rereading. By morning, exhaustion had dulled my panic, but a new resolve took root. I needed answers. I called her sister, Emily, under the guise of checking in. Her voice was cheerful, oblivious. Claire's loving the spa. She's at a yoga session now. I forced a laugh, my stomach twisting. Yoga didn't explain the note. I spent the day digging. Her laptop, left behind in her rush, was a Pandora's box I couldn't resist. The password, our anniversary, unlocked a world I wasn't prepared for. Her email was clean, but her browser history wasn't. Searches for how to hide text messages, private email accounts, and most damning, hotels near Lakeview Park. That was the usual spot, I realized, a secluded park 20 minutes from our house. My heart pounded as I cross-referenced her calendar. Every late meeting, aligned with nights I'd been out of town or working late. The pattern was undeniable, but I clung to denial like a lifeline. By the third day, I was a ghost in my own life, moving through routines while my mind spiraled. I called her, desperate for her voice to ground me. Hey babe, she answered, her tone light like nothing was wrong. How's the retreat? I asked, my voice steady despite the tremor in my hands. Amazing, she said. I'm finding so much clarity. Clarity. The word stung, a cruel echo of her departure. I wanted to scream, to demand who she was meeting at midnight, but I choked on the words. Miss you, I said instead, hating myself for it. Miss you too, she replied, and I could hear the lie in her pause. The truth came on the 5th day, when I couldn't take it anymore. I drove to Lakeview Park at dusk, the note burning a hole in my pocket. The air was thick with the scent of pine and damp earth. The park eerily quiet except for the distant hum of crickets. I parked near the gazebo, the usual spot I'd pieced together from her search history. I didn't expect to find anything, but I needed to see it, to prove I wasn't crazy. Then I saw them, Claire and a man I didn't recognize, standing too close under the gazebo's dim light. Her laugh, the one I thought was mine alone, carried across the clearing. His hand brushed her arm, and she didn't pull away. I didn't confront them. I couldn't. My legs carried me back to the car, my vision blurred with tears and rage. The drive home was a haze, the road lights bleeding into streaks of color. I felt like a fool, a desperate husband who'd believed in forever, while she built a secret life. But anger gave way to clarity of my own. I wouldn't beg, wouldn't wait for her to choose me. I spent the next 2 days packing. Not everything. Just my clothes, my books, the things that were mine before her. The moving boxes stacked in the garage felt like a rebellion, a reclaiming of myself. I wrote the note last, my hand steady despite the storm in my chest. Claire, I found the note in your coat. I saw you at Lakeview. You wanted space, and I found mine. I'm gone. I left it on the kitchen counter, next to her favorite coffee mug, the one I'd bought her on our first anniversary. The irony wasn't lost on me. When she returned, I wasn't there. I'd rented a small apartment across town. A blank slate to rebuild what she'd shattered. My phone stayed silent, but I imagined her walking into the house, seeing the boxes, reading the note. Would she cry? Beg for forgiveness? Or would she feel relief, free to pursue whatever she'd been chasing in the dark? I didn't know, and for the first time I didn't care. A week later, Emily called. Mark, what happened? Claire's a mess. I listened as she described Claire's tears, her claims of a misunderstanding. The man was just a friend, Emily said, someone from work helping her through a rough patch. I wanted to believe it, but the image of them at the gazebo, her laugh, his touch, it was seared into me. She made her choice, I said, my voice cold. So did I. That night, alone in my new apartment, I opened a bottle of whiskey and toasted to the space I'd claimed. The betrayal still burned, a wound that would scar but not define me. I'd loved her with everything, but love wasn't enough when trust was gone. The boxes, the note, the empty house, they weren't revenge. They were survival.